Hey there, I'm Melisa, the girl in a foreign land, helping you out, and in today's video, we will be going through the job options for people that have studied hospitality management or hospitality entrepreneurship. So let's get started. So, just from the beginning, just to let you know, I actually studied hospitality entrepreneurship, and it was a really good choice for my part because I just enjoy the subject. And for the sake of this video, I just thought I split the different job categories into 7 different categories just to make things easier for you. And then within each category, we'll just break it up. So the first type is working as an accommodation manager, and this could be through working as a hotel manager, a front desk manager, working in a lodge or a resort, or maybe even opening your own bed and breakfast. Or maybe you might prefer being a more internal type of manager, such as a housekeeping manager or maybe even rooms division manager. Basically, my point is when it comes to accommodation, the opportunities are actually quite endless because now with the hospitality industry and the way things are moving forward, there's more positions that are being made, meaning more job opportunities, and that's always a good thing, right? The second type is working as a catering manager. Now this would be more towards the people that are interested within the food and beverage industry. Examples are a restaurant manager, a maitre d', a host or hostess, or even if you want something just simple and plain like a waiter or waitress, that would always be in the option. If this is something that you'd be interested in, I would advise you have qualifications such as having to work under pressure, remembering orders, so having to really think quick on your feet, always having that ability to remember the small details. For example, if a guest once told you that, oh, I actually have an allergy to shellfish, make sure that when they come to the restaurant next time, you remember like, oh, this guest is allergic to shellfish, and you're gonna accommodate for them. It might be something small you don't have to remember, but when you put that attention to detail to a specific guest and their specific needs, it's always a really good thumbs up for your establishment. And it sometimes actually really means that your guests will come back because they know that, oh, in this restaurant, people really pay attention to detail and they really do care about their guests. The third type you could be is an events manager, and this could be people working as a wedding planner or other different events organization. Another big sector in this part is conference centers, where you don't necessarily have to have a space specifically for certain events. You could rent it out for different functions and provide the different facilities or amenities and services tailored to the individual occasions happening within that center. Another sector is working as a public manager. And this, I mean, in industries or sectors such as human resources, marketing, sales and marketing, or as well as public relations. This would be better suited for people that are not afraid to get in front of the company, be the face of the company, be the face of the organization, or whatever sector you're in. A key strength you would need for this type of job or within this type of industry is to know how to be a people pleaser, but still be able to work and get the results according to what your company, and you need to be able to sell the product, sell the service. That you just need to be a really good salesperson, but also a people's person, but also a very tough business person. It's a mixture of a lot of things and a bit more complicated, but we're not going to get into it today. The next sector is working as a travel agent. This could be through tours and excursions or other forms of tourism offers. A really good example is for people that would prefer to be an individual or a personal travel agent. This would mean people come to you and they'll be like, hey, I would like to go to Brazil with my family. We've got 2 dogs, our budget is this, we want these activities, and this is our information. And you would need to be able to tailor that family's requirements for their holiday or their trip or whatever occasion it might be. For this job, you need to be someone that's really good at finding out information for doing research. For example, you need to know the different restaurants, or you need to know the different services that different hotels offer, as well as making an actual relationship with these establishments so that they'll be like, oh, we actually have a good relationship with this travel agent, and so for customers from them, we can provide them a special offer, for example. And so basically hospitality is always making friends, good connections, and good communication. And the last two is an air cabin crew. So this could be, for example, working either up front in terms of people that check you in, or actually being an air hostess or an air host. I don't know too much about this industry, but from research I've done and what from I've seen, the training is quite intense, and the requirements in terms of height, your personality, something that they really stress on. And lastly is being into retail. As I say before, in hospitality, it's always about the customer service and selling a specific thing. If it's not a physical item like clothing, it might be a service as well. And so if you kind of think about it, all the other categories I've mentioned are some form of retail. It's just in either a product or a service. Okay, now let's talk about the skills you need for all of these. I'm not going to be telling you specific skills for each individual job, because then this video will be like an hour long. So I'm just going to be mentioning the basic skills always needed when applying for these types of jobs. The first one is you need to have a good basis of analytical, critical, and problem-solving skills. And this is not something that you can just read about and learn. It needs to be an attribute. It needs to be a characteristic that you have, so that when you're in pressure situations, you don't panic, you're not flustered, you're able to think quick on your feet and be like, okay, this is the problem we have. Our solutions are A, B, C. This is what the best one is to do. If not, always have a plan B. And that is honestly all you really need to do. Just think quick on your feet, but always putting in mind the quality of the service you're providing. The second requirement or skill you need is good verbal communication. You need to be able to speak to your group as well as do good presentations. At times you might need to present to your boss a new sales tactic that you'd like your company to present, and you need to be able to properly alliterate and put forth the idea that you want to do, because at times you might have a really good idea, but you're just not that good at really presenting it, and that kind of is important if you want things to go well for you. When we work in the hospitality industry, there's always a lot of small key units or small key departments that need to come together to make the overall goal of the hotel, the resort, whatever place you're working at, to make that goal, the company's mission, to come to life. And you need to have really good group communication skills. So basically, work together to achieve a goal. Yeah, and this can be gained through working both independently or in groups. For example, when you might need negotiation skills is a guest might come to you and they might say, oh, I would like to extend my room, but I'm also doing this and this and this, and so is there any way I could get a deal? Or I'm a returning customer. You need to be able to, you can at times reduce the room rate, but also not to such an extent that the company is losing money, but have good negotiation skills. So for example, okay, I could reduce your room rate, but I could possibly also swap it with this type of meal plan, for example. And you just need to be able to work with the customer, but still have the ability to reach what your own company goal is. Another key important skill is leadership and delegation skills. We will always need to be either a leader of someone or a leader of yourself. At times, even though you might be just a line level employee, there might be a time that your supervisor or your manager might be like, I'm gonna put this on you, get a team of 2 or 3 people and get it done. And that's when you need to show that, okay, I actually have the ability to be the front runner, to be the boss, even in small situations, and proving yourself in those small tasks at times is what then leads to you being promoted to a supervisor or a manager. The second last skill that will always be needed is having a good grasp on IT skills. Now in hospitality, there are a lot of different IT systems used, so it's not always the same home system. However, having even the basics is always good, of Microsoft, of Excel, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. And lastly, I stated before, the ability to network. In hospitality, we're always trying to make business friends, because once you have the right connection, that's always a good thing, because once you have the right connection, you're kind of guaranteed in the future that things might go a bit smoother for you. And also not just within the company, you might then leave that company, and the connections you've made from your previous company would also be beneficial in your job search for the future. And that is it for this video, guys. I really hope it was helpful. I really hope you find that job after studying. That's currently where I am yet, but I first need to learn my German and then I can look for a job. We all know that. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions at all or suggestions of videos you might want, let me know in the comments and I'll sure get to it. Thank you. Bye.